Hello, and welcome to The Revealing. I am once again your host, Pavarotti, here to discuss the Idaho 4 case. Now, as a disclaimer, this channel is for entertainment purposes only. These are my opinions, I'm not here to slander anyone. So, with that being said, let's get started. To be fair, I always keep an open mind. I look at every aspect of this case, and when I notice something that sticks out, whether it points to the guilt or innocence of Mr. Kohberger, I'm never going to keep my mouth shut, and I'm never going to hold my opinion back. Last night, the defense team released the alibi statement of Mr. Kohberger. Now, as you go through the alibi statement, a couple of things really stick out. And as you know, for some reason, I can pick out a few things that other people seem to overlook. So I wanted to definitely let you know what I've picked out in this one. Now, obviously, the first thing I picked out is the alibi statement. I mean, I don't know any other way that you could look at that and not determine how does Mr. Kohberger go to school all day long, work all day long, and then all night long until early morning hours. You know, he's off at the park in the mountains hiking and looking at the stars. This guy doesn't sleep. I'm telling you, this guy does not sleep. But yet he still has energy to hike and run and work and go to school. I'll let you figure out for yourself how he's able to accomplish that feat. But that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm about to discuss in this video, because I want to be fair to Mr. Kohberger. When you take some of the evidence that they're presenting in this matter and you correlate that to a map from Pullman to Moscow, Idaho, and the road that would need to be taken to either go to Moscow or go out to this location at Wawa Park in Washington, there is one critical part. And I believe I was watching the Drunk Turkey show last night, and he had it on the map, and he showed it clear as day. When he's heading south, before he has that, it's basically a turn. He can either go right to Wawa Park, or he can go left to Moscow, Idaho. Now, if he goes left, there is a camera that people haven't really heard about that caught the vehicle there by the little marijuana place on the road from Pullman to Moscow. Okay, I contend that's just one of many, many, many cameras that captured that vehicle that night. And when you think about how the FBI specialists got the year models wrong on the Elantra at first, I believe it's because they didn't have all the video coverage compiled and viewed and deciphered at that time to be able to accurately describe the vehicle in question. However, here is what the defense is actually presenting, and it goes over a lot of people's heads. They're presenting that if Mr. Kohberger made a right and went to Wawa Park, then the first video of his vehicle heading towards Moscow, where it captures a white Elantra, was not his vehicle. Right? So if they can prove that the first vehicle was not his vehicle, then every other camera shot that they have of the white Elantra could not possibly be his. It's the other vehicle that's captured in the photograph from the marijuana camera on that highway to Moscow. But there's another thing that they point out, and this is the one that everybody seems to miss. See, before you take that right to go to Wawa Park or stay straight to go to Moscow, Idaho, there are 2 traffic light cameras right there. One of them clearly captured Mr. Kohberger's car in Pullman, Washington that evening, and they were able to verify that was Mr. Kohberger's car. And the reason they can do that is because it was a traffic light camera. Okay, traffic light cameras are designed so if you run a traffic light, I think sometimes you don't have to run the traffic light, they'll take your picture and send you a ticket anyways. But if you run a traffic light, those cameras are designed to capture your license plate, and then seamlessly the city mails you a ticket. The police don't even have to pull you over and write it. They just mail it to you, and now you got a ticket you got to contend with just because you went through that light and that traffic light camera caught you. So that one has been easily verified to be Mr. Kohberger's car. Now, he would have went through another traffic light, though, had he made the turn to go to Wawa Park. Because the traffic light that would have caught him making that turn also caught him when he returned to Pullman early the next morning after the atrocity, after the atrocity occurred. So when they say at the end of the alibi statement that they are going to motion for compel for discovery, that there's possible exculpatory evidence that the prosecutors have not turned over to the defense team yet, they're discussing that camera footage from that traffic light that caught him returning into Pullman, Washington. So what the defense is actually contending, and if this is true, then there is a big question in this. They're contending that on the time frame that Mr. Kohberger would have left Pullman and went to Wawa Park, there is no camera footage from that traffic light for them to verify that he went the other way. And let me explain what that means. That means that for whatever reason, the time frame that he would have driven through that traffic light at that traffic cam, they have not yet received that in the discovery. And I'm willing to bet they've been looking for that for a long time. And they're going to do a motion to compel to try to get that specific image now that they let the prosecutor know that that's what they've really been looking for. I don't believe that they've let them know that up until this point. They've just been saying general statements in court about the discovery. But I do remember one time in court here recently where Ann Taylor suggested we haven't received all the video data. We may find a video that shows Mr. Kohberger's car somewhere totally different. We just haven't found it yet. I believe that's exactly what she's referring to in this new motion to compel that she's about to file. She's suggesting that her expert witness will actually, if they can't get that discovery evidence, he will testify that either that evidence wasn't properly maintained or the prosecution is withholding that evidence from the defense, and that would be the exculpatory evidence that they're looking for. So basically what they're saying is there is footage from that same camera for the time of day that would have shown Mr. Kohberger's car going to Wawa Park, and the prosecution has snatched up that evidence and that camera footage, and they've either locked it away or they've thrown it away. That's what she's suggesting in this alibi statement. So very interesting. And you know, the Moscow Police Department is very well known for holding back video evidence or holding back evidence in general in cases. You know, there's the Stickergate incident that they could correlate to this case. But that is me being as absolute fair to Mr. Kohberger as I possibly can and his defense team. I always want to be fair in this case and look at all aspects of it. But again, I'm going to wrap that up. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and post your comments, your criticisms. And as always, Pavarotti is out.